I've been married to my wife for 3 years. I'm 27, she's 26, my sister-in-law is 30, and my brother-in-law is 31. I always had a close relationship with my sister-in-law. We're friends. I also have a decent connection with my brother-in-law. We're not that close, but we often talk and get along. My wife and her sister didn't get along as much as you would expect from siblings. It wasn't just normal sibling rivalry, but constant fights and arguments. Anyway, 3 weeks ago, when I was having dinner with my friends, I saw my brother-in-law with another woman. They were just eating, and I didn't think much of it. I wanted to go and greet him, but I kept talking to my friends. After a while, I saw that he gave a light kiss to this woman. I was so shocked. I decided not to confront him, and when I got back home, I told my wife everything. I told her that her sister is getting cheated on, and we need to tell her. My wife said we should talk to my brother-in-law instead of telling her sister, and we shouldn't break their marriage because her sister is pregnant. I was like, what the heck? So what if she's pregnant? Her husband is a cheat. I tried to convince my wife multiple times that we should tell her sister the truth. I told her that I know they don't get along, but she's still her sister, and this isn't right. But she asked me to stay out of it. I tried my best to convince my wife, but she either ignored me or said we shouldn't break their marriage. I had enough of her, and yesterday I told her that I am coming clean to my sister-in-law. She and I have a great bond, and I can't and won't betray her. My wife said if I tell her the truth, she will not talk to me. I replied that I won't talk to her either if she doesn't want to do what's right. Today, I told my sister-in-law the truth. I went to her place and told her everything. She was doubtful and asked me to leave. After a few hours, my sister-in-law called me, crying, and said what I said was the truth. She shouldn't have doubted me and kicked me out. She said she's leaving. I asked her where she would go and if she had money. She said she does, but not that much. I wired her a bit and said she should call me if she needs help. She thanked me and said she will only use the money I sent if it's necessary. Otherwise, she will return it. My brother-in-law called my wife, and well, my wife lashed out at me, saying I ruined her family and her sister's life. I said I thought the moment we got married, your family is mine and my family is yours. Anyway, why are you defending that cheat so much? What about your sister? She didn't reply to me, and she's not talking to me either. I tried to talk to her and convince her that it was the right thing to do, but she wouldn't talk to me. So I said, fine, stay angry, and if you want to divorce me, then go ahead. I think I have nuked my marriage. I do not know if what I did was truly right. Now for a few important comments. One commenter said, NTA, if I were you, I would sleep with one eye open. Your wife has no moral standards. To which OP replied, I truly have been thinking about this, that she might just be. But I love and trust my wife, and I was thinking she wanted me to not tell her because my sister-in-law is pregnant, and women know how stressful pregnancy and after pregnancy is. She might have thought that she needs support from her husband. I don't know. Nothing here makes sense to me. There was nothing for me to suspect of her cheating on me. Now for the update. 5 days later. It's been a few days since I told my wife's sister that her husband is a cheat. Just to clarify to all the weirdos, no, I am not in love with my sister-in-law. I don't have any inappropriate relations or feelings for her. I respect her, and she's family. In any case, yesterday, I asked my wife why she is pissed and wanted me not to reveal the truth to her sister. I know they hate each other, but they are siblings. My wife said it's not our place to interfere. I asked if she was okay with her sister being cheated on. She said she isn't, but it will and has ruined their marriage because of my stupidity. She's pregnant, and the child needs his father, and so does the wife. I was so shocked when she said this, like, what the heck? I asked her if I were to cheat on her, would she forgive me? She said yes. I also asked her if she ever cheats on me, would she hide it from me? She also said yes to that. I was so shocked. I asked her if she knows what she's saying. She said yes, and she's confident. Just because you had intimacy with someone else doesn't mean everyone else has to suffer and break the family. I had no words to say. I told her that I also sent my sister-in-law money. She started screaming at me and said I shouldn't have helped her, despite knowing she doesn't like her sister. I said if that's what she thinks, then it's better if we just divorce. She got angry and screamed, fine, and started packing her bag. I tried my best to stop her from leaving. I told her that I love her and I just did what I felt was right. Nobody has to suffer betrayal like this. She said it wasn't the right time. I asked her, so when should we tell her the truth? After she gives birth, because it will worsen her postpartum depression? Or years after she gives birth? She will just blame us. She said we should have just kept quiet and left it alone. I tried so hard to stop her, but she didn't listen to me and left. I tried to contact her and her parents and friends, but they don't know where she is. Instead, they started interrogating me and saying I am her husband and I should have taken care of her and I should know where she is. I even visited my brother-in-law to confirm my suspicions, but I didn't see her car or her belongings anywhere. I hate that I am being blamed for just revealing the truth, and my wife leaving me right away without a second thought. I was so darn pissed. So today I called my sister-in-law and told her that she can stay at my place because I'm going to my parents and my wife left, and nobody knows where she is. She told me she will try talking to her parents, but after a while, she called me and said that their parents don't know where she is. I told her to think about herself and come over and stay here instead of blowing up her money. Now I am at my parents' place, and my sister-in-law is in our home. Maybe I was being petty, but I hate that my wife gave up on me and left without a second thought. I don't know whether she's cheating or cheated, or if she would truly cheat on me and her own blood sister with a family relative over feuds. One thing is for sure, though, I cannot trust my wife anymore. She hurt me. Now for a few comments. One commenter said, "I'm sorry, OP. The way your wife speaks on the subject of cheating is concerning, especially that she would hide it from you. If I were in your shoes, I wouldn't be able to trust her either. How she doesn't look at cheating on your SO as a huge deal breaker is beyond me. Some couples can forgive and move past it, but not all. The baby's father can still be in her life. I'm sorry you're hurting and going through this. Hugs." Yeah, I feel like she isn't even the woman I married. She's like a completely different person. Maybe the comments about I married the wrong sister were right. Haha. In any case, I loved and I still do and will do so for the foreseeable future. So, I will just back out of the relationship and dating scene, and even I don't trust my wife at this point. Now for a few comments. One commenter said, "Your wife was pissed because she's most likely the one having the affair with your brother-in-law, and if it's not with the brother-in-law, it's definitely with someone else where you think she's been, hiding at her affair partner's place." Another commenter added, "NTA, your wife is a weirdo. I think it's more that she hates her sister than that she's worried about her baby. If she were worried, why would she get angry at you for helping your sister-in-law? I do worry, though, that you might have endangered her by leaving her alone in your house. If your wife returns and sees her there, she might get hurt. She also will probably cheat on you if she hasn't already. I would proceed with the divorce. Am I the idiot for dumping my boyfriend after his PowerPoint critique of my cooking turned into a comedy show at his office? So, this happened a few days ago, and I'm still trying to process it. For context, I, female 28, have been with my BF, male 30, for about 2 years. We live together, and I've always done most of the cooking because I genuinely enjoy it, and he claims he can't even boil water without setting off the smoke alarm. The other night, I made one of our favorite meals, and while we were eating, he got a weird smirk on his face. He then says, "You know, I've been taking notes." I laughed, thinking he was joking, but then he said, "No, really, I made a presentation." I still thought it was a joke until he got up, connected his laptop to the TV, and opened a PowerPoint titled, "Improving Our Home Dining Experience." I was in disbelief as he went slide by slide critiquing my dishes. Slide 1, too much garlic. Slide 2, pasta consistency. Slide 3, more salt, less sass. The kicker was slide 8, which was just a photo of Gordon Ramsay facepalming with the caption, "What he'd think." I was stunned. I told him if he had such detailed opinions, he should cook himself. He tried to backtrack, saying it was all in good fun and that he was just trying to help. But I wasn't laughing. I haven't cooked since, and now he's been living off cereal and takeout. He's sulking, saying I'm overreacting and ruining the joke. So, Reddit, am I the jerk for refusing to cook after my BF presented me with a PowerPoint critique of my cooking? Now for the update. Hey Reddit. So it's been a wild ride since I posted my original story about my now ex-boyfriend's infamous PowerPoint presentation critiquing my cooking. I can't thank you enough for all the support, laughs, and even the outrage on my behalf. Buckle up, because here's the follow-up you didn't know you needed. After reading your comments and taking some time to process what happened, I decided that our relationship needed a serious talk. I sat him down to discuss how his presentation came across as not just unfunny, but pretty disrespectful. You know, typical mature relationship stuff. Well, what does he do? He smirks and goes, "Oh, I was prepared for this." He actually grabs his laptop, connects it to the TV again, and presents me with another PowerPoint titled, "How to Take a Joke, a Comprehensive Guide." Yes, folks, he made a whole slideshow explaining why I needed to learn how to chill out and appreciate humor. Slide 1 featured a meme of a clown putting on makeup with my name plastered over it. Slide 2, a bullet point list titled, "Why Your Overreaction is Hilarious." Slide 3 was titled, "How I'm Clearly the Comedian in This Relationship." At this point, I was too stunned to speak. But then he pulled out slide 6, "Things you can do while not cooking because you're mad." The audacity, right? It was as if he really thought he'd win me over with this next-level presentation. Spoiler alert, he did not. So I did what any rational PowerPoint-loving person would do. I made my own. I stayed up all night crafting a presentation called "Why It's Time to Move On, a Farewell Guide." It had everything. flowcharts mapping his incompetence in the kitchen, pie charts illustrating my happiness before and after the great presentation debacle, and my personal favorite, slide 9, a gif of Gordon Ramsay yelling, "Get out!" This morning, I sat him down and went through my PowerPoint with the same energy he had given me. His reaction was priceless. He started with that same smirk, but lost it somewhere around slide 4. Top 10 reasons you're moving out today. By the time I got to the resources for finding your own apartment slide, he was packing a bag. Now, before anyone worries, yes, he did actually leave. And no, I didn't even have to threaten him with slide 12, which was just a photo of me blocking the Wi-Fi router. So yeah, we broke up, and I'm single, happy, and cooking meals for myself without any critique except my cat's judgmental stare. And to those who said I should make a breakup PowerPoint, just know your wish has been fulfilled. I still can't believe how all of this went down over the course of one single weekend. But I now feel pretty good about myself. Thanks for all of your comments and support. P.S. Oh, and fun fact, some of you were right. He actually is a business consultant, so making PowerPoint presentations is quite literally his day job. I guess he took bringing work home to a whole new, unwelcome level. Now for the second update. Hey everyone. Just when I thought this PowerPoint saga was done and dusted, it turns out the story took an unexpected dive into corporate drama. So, here's the latest. My ex works at a big consulting firm, and they've found out about the PowerPoint breakup. Between all the shares and the news articles, thanks New York Post and Board Panda, the story somehow made its way into his office, and let's just say it's been causing some serious disruption over there. The news came to me from a mutual friend who's actually a colleague of his. This friend couldn't resist sharing the story with a few other coworkers, and before long, the whole office knew that he was the boyfriend behind the Reddit-famous PowerPoint critiquing his girlfriend's cooking. People pieced it together pretty quickly, honestly. How many PowerPoint-loving culinary critics can a single firm employ? And now it's become this unofficial inside joke that's taken over his team. Apparently, the real kicker happened yesterday. My ex had to present in a team meeting, and from what I've heard, it didn't exactly go smoothly. As soon as he pulled up his first slide, someone in the back muttered, "Hope this presentation is tastier than the last one," which set off a chain reaction of stifled laughs. A few people tried to keep it together, but by the time he was halfway through, someone else chimed in with, "Don't forget the salt." And at that point, half the room was doing their best to muffle laughter. I've been told he somehow managed to finish the presentation, but I can't imagine it was easy with his entire team dropping subtle and not so subtle hints every few minutes. And now, it's apparently become a running joke in the office. Anytime someone has to give feedback or present, someone will throw in, "Add a little more garlic," or "Is this feedback PowerPoint approved?" He's basically the office meme now, unofficially dubbed the PowerPoint Gourmet. And, in what might be the best prank yet, someone went into the company's internal wiki page, the one for onboarding new hires, and added a little unofficial policy at the bottom. It now reads, "Company culture tip. PowerPoints are a powerful tool for workplace communication, but please keep presentations about personal matters like cooking critiques out of the home environment." I'm told that every new hire sees it, and it's been getting some serious laughs from anyone who spots it. My ex was apparently mortified when he found out, but couldn't exactly complain, because hey, it's just helpful advice for the team, right? Now it's a full-on company legend, with people half joking that they'll add it to the official onboarding materials. Meanwhile, my friends have been sending me updates non-stop, and I can't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. One friend texted, "You've created an office legend," while another said, "Please tell me he's not planning a rebuttal PowerPoint. Let's hope for everyone's sake that he isn't." As for me, I'm just sitting back with some popcorn, absolutely living for these updates. Who knew that dumping a guy with a PowerPoint addiction would make him the unwitting star of office legend? I feel like I'm watching a sitcom unfold, and every new bit of gossip is just the next episode. Honestly, I never imagined my breakup would lead to him being known as PowerPoint Gourmet around the office, but here we are. Moral of the story? If you're going to critique your partner's cooking with a slide deck, be prepared for that feedback to follow you right into the break room. Am I the idiot for refusing to apologize to my brother's reckless fiancée after her prank went too far? My brother, his fiancée, and I had a meeting facilitated by our parents. I was hoping for an apology, but she stuck to her stance that my husband overreacted. My brother tried to mediate, but I felt he was more focused on keeping the peace than addressing the issue. My husband and I decided not to attend their wedding. My brother is upset, but I feel it's the right decision for us. I hope time will help mend our relationship. My husband responded to her jump scare by instinctively shoving her against the wall. Luckily for her, he heard her voice and recognized that it wasn't an intruder. He apologized to her in that moment, helped her inside, and calmed her down. He told me he was gentle and understanding, but once she was seated and started to calm down, he made it very clear to her that her actions were reckless and could have led to serious harm. It's my personal opinion that she didn't like the change in his demeanor and being told off because it meant she was no longer the victim, but the transgressor. In a shitty attempt to get herself out of the hot seat, she decided to accuse my husband of using excessive force, implying that he intentionally attacked her, even though she was the one who initiated the whole situation. This led to an emotional reaction from my brother and heightened the tension between him and my husband. My husband was zero tolerance about the theatrics, FSIL in hysterics, and my brother getting riled up about it. He kicked them both out. I tried to talk to my brother multiple times after the incident, but each attempt ended in silence because I refused to give in to his demands. He wanted my husband and me to apologize to his fiancée, starting with me downplaying the whole situation so she wouldn't feel bad about her prank. I hesitated to send him the Reddit post I'd made. Initially, I thought it might work against us to make things worse. But his total inability to reason with me or see the situation for what it was became beyond frustrating. Since I couldn't physically deliver a cold hard slap to his face for asking me to be complacent in allowing my husband to be falsely accused of attack, I figured the next best thing would be for him to read all your comments. Following the advice I got here, I tried to get ahead of the situation by informing my parents. My dad, a reasonable and practical man, immediately sided with my husband. His comments were similar to what a lot of people here had said, focusing on how dangerous and reckless the prank was and the ramifications of being falsely accused of attack. My mom, who unfortunately has always favored my brother, suggested we at least hear her out, referring to my brother's fiancée. As livid as I was about her reaction, I wasn't surprised by it. My dad did try to shut down her skepticism, but she remained on my brother's side for a few days until I showed them footage from my brother's Tesla, which he had tried to delete. The Sentry thing recorded part of the interaction in the garage, not the jump scare itself, but the aftermath, which in my opinion was more crucial. My husband's account was confirmed. He used a measured amount of force to immobilize her and was prepared to escalate if necessary, which is beyond generous for someone to do in a situation like that, and definitely not owed. Many of you speculated that she might have a fixation or even a crush on my husband, and I'm starting to reconsider some past interactions with that in mind. I also misunderstood what dark books she expressed she enjoyed, and compared my fiancé to. I learned from comments here that they are actually a subtype of the romance genre. I didn't know she was comparing him to characters in romance novels, because one of the characters I recall her comparing my husband to was from a book about dragons. I genuinely wish I still remembered the names of various characters she's mentioned over the months, so I could satisfy my own curiosity, but my brain glossed over the names during conversations. We have a group chat for the wedding, which includes my brother, my parents, my brother's fiancée, and her parents. In that chat, I addressed the incident, but didn't share the Tesla footage, only mentioned that it exists. Her parents didn't respond in the chat, though I know they saw the message. Later, her mom called mine. Apparently, they had no idea about the prank. It's hard to say whether they believe me or if they've taken their daughter's side after speaking with her. My brother's fiancée and my brother have both extended apologies to my husband and have requested our presence at their upcoming wedding. My parents, trying to keep the peace, have encouraged us to go, saying it's the honorable thing to do. So, for the sake of family formality, we've decided to attend. However, my husband has made it clear that we'll be there out of obligation. We will be keeping a distance from them going forward. We haven't explicitly stated it, but there will be no future invitations to our home, not even for the holiday dinner we had planned before all this happened. My husband is going to minimize all future interaction with my brother's fiancée. I don't think we'll ever trust her again. I'll try to spend some one-on-one time with my brother to gauge where we stand. Our relationship feels strained, and this incident has made me realize that I lost him to her long before this happened, something I hadn't fully recognized until now. Thanks to everyone for sharing your opinions. Now for a few comments. Ike Reddit 74 male said, "Still not the idiot, and your sister-in-law is still lucky that all she got was a shove against the wall. Doing dumb shoot tends to get people ended the life of more often than not." Tekalitas commented, "Please make sure to keep a copy of that video, and if possible, a written statement from your future sister-in-law. She can always backtrack and try to ruin your husband's life with a false accusation." Then I replied, "We have a copy. My husband pulled the footage the night the incident happened while the rest of us were still talking. I didn't mention it in an edit because he was waiting to see if my brother would be willing to show it to us himself, and I was going to send the post I made to my brother. When my brother didn't bring it forward, I revealed it." Tekalitas added, "That's good. I would still be very careful with your whole family. Your husband was attacked, and it seems they are all very happy to keep it hush-hush. I know you are trying your best, and I applaud you for it, but please never forget they are willing to appease that psycho, no matter the consequences, to your husband.